There's a lot of debate, actually, about what it means to be a millennial. I think it just means young women. I think that when you're talking about this life stage where you are figuring out how you're going to be a person in the world. How about that?
Millennial. Okay. Can you give an age range?
I mean, let's say 15 to 32.
I oversee all our multicultural marketing at HBO, including HBO Latino and Cinemax Latino. So for me, that's marketing for anybody with a hue. And LGBT is sort of the way I like to define that.
That's
and so for us, millennial is really important to us because 46% of millennials are multicultural. So I would argue that if I do multicultural marketing, I do millennial marketing.
About 5 years ago, all the big fashion books had, for their September issue, every single person on the covers was over 40. And we had to look at our product, which was like, okay, we had this really special area that is no longer special. And I had a lot of 30-year-olds who were coming up to me saying, you know, I really love the magazine because it's more intelligent, it's smart, it has great articles. I know it's not for me and I shouldn't buy it. I'm like, okay, we got a problem. So we took off the 40, we opened the doorway. We don't want to be 20-something. There's so many great magazines for 20-somethings. It's a whole different stage. But we say, if you're ready to graduate from that, basically, if you got the guy, you know what to do with him, we're for you. Seems like below us, they're just obsessed with trying to figure out the guy. My women don't even want to talk about guys. They want to talk about their friends.
That is so true.
Very funny.
I heard a lot of statistics, a lot of research about women's spending power.
That's
and
us.
how high the women's spending power is. Now, does that fall into a particular demographic, age group, or is it as specific to millennials as it is to your core?
Well,
and as, you know,
I mean, I can just tell you from what I know, there was a big, huge Women's Wear Daily headline about a year ago that said, you know, something to the, you know, on pain of death, you cannot ignore older women any longer.
Yeah.
And because that's where the money went. The
Right.
money went upward, and unfortunately, with what's happening with younger people today, the money, the old system was always court the millennial, court the millennial. You still have to do that, but the money, unfortunately, because we haven't moved out of the jobs, so because of the recession, what happened, all the, you know, people from my generation should be gone and out and living their other lives, and they're not. And so these millennials can't come in. So that's part of the problem, but I'm sure Ann knows better than me.
Right, so the recession was this huge turning point moment for the millennials. And if you think about it sort of pre-recession and post-recession in 2007, right, it was the age of Lauren Conrad, and like she was the ultimate teen queen, 2007. And on the Hills, they sat around and they talked about drama with their friends and drank frappuccinos, and you know, there was like no conversation about ambition or money or life beyond the salad that they were having for lunch. And then and it was fun, right?
Yeah.
We had a great time. After, you know, 2009, by then we were making our lattes at home and shopping in our closet, and that was like a real drag for everybody. But on the other side of that, just on the other side, the young women who were just coming into their own power looked around at the way their parents had suddenly like lost control of their finances, lost control of their destiny, and they were like, holy shit, I need to get control of my own life. And it actually gave rise to this tremendous generation of power girls, you know, young women who were incredibly ambitious and interested in carving their own path and frankly spending in a much different way, right? Like the 2007 is long gone, and if you give a millennial $100, she's not going to go spend it on one big splurge. She's going to see every single thing she can possibly get for $100. She's going to come 10 things. Can I get 12 things? You know,
that's so interesting. That piggies back in what my next question was going to be. What changes have you seen within the demographic and within your segment? You're saying that it's changed in the way that the millennials spend money. Yeah.
Absolutely.
What have you seen? Have you seen anything?
Well, it's the same thing. For us, we're a subscription business, so we recognize that we always follow the money. And we know that for the most part, women make the buying decisions of the household. So that even if a man heads the household, we always like to say the woman is the neck. She says where the turn, she turns the head.
Right.
Right? Yeah. So, and we've always looked at it that way. The other thing is that when we look at it from psychographically and sort of behaviorally, we're finding that the same thing. We're finding that the generation that's millennial is perception that they are lazy, that they don't really care, and they don't want. It's completely false.
Entitled.
And entitled, it's completely false. They actually, and if you look at sort of what they value, what they care about, is very much in line with our generation.
Yes,
They're actually
absolutely.
very in line.
Absolutely.
Very aligned. Oddly aligned in a way that
Very-
would scare you. So, and there was a lot of research around that because there was always this hesitance of hiring millennials, but actually that's actually a great group to hire from.
So I want to talk about how technology plays into the media that you do and your experiences with it.
I do really very firmly believe there is room for print in the world if it is leisure-based, if it is luxury-based, if it is that kind of beautiful kind of walking away from all the technology, the antithesis of the technology. And I really got there by 6 years ago. I was teaching a magazine course at NYU, a grad course, and I was like this with magazines. I was like, done, it's over, we're dead. And it was all the 20-year-olds who said to me, you know what, you're wrong. They were like, I love magazines. I want to get off that iPad. I want to get off my phone. I want to get off when I get into bed. Now, they're not talking about all day. But they said, when I get into bed, when there are times when I just don't want to be connected anymore. And I was like, really? Okay. And I think that there are places in your life, hopefully we're going to be, print will still be more than, the carriage ride around the park. I think it'll be bigger than that. But
Look, no one's come up with a screen that you can lay out by the pool with yet.
Yeah, no, that's coming. I'm sure that's coming. But it's, it's a different experience, and I think it'll still be around if you do it the right way. And lucky for me, I still have readers who love print. And we do different things for different stuff.